I'm Justin.
And I'm Staci.
This is Kana.
And it's a hearty life.
Welcome to part 2 of our series where we travel from Rome to Lake Como in just under 2 weeks. 4 absolutely unforgettable days in Rome are officially in the books, and today we're catching a train an hour and a half north to Florence.
Another glorious early morning here. We're packing up in Rome and we're headed out to Florence. We have a train to catch here at like 9:10, and we're trying to get there because we're supposed to go see the David statue by 12:30. So that's what's up.
I knew when I booked these tickets that an early morning travel day was going to be such a joy. But hey, some things are just worth losing sleep over. This entire trip from Rome all the way up to Lake Como is done with public transit and walking only. And after a short quarter-mile walk from the train station, we made it to our Airbnb in Florence. We dropped our bags off at the Airbnb and went directly over to the Accademia Gallery. It was fascinating to see such a large collection of high Renaissance art pieces. My knowledge on art history is quite minimal, but it was very cool to see a lot of artists that I actually did recognize. I cannot stress this enough. If you plan to go to this gallery, make sure you buy your tickets ahead. The line was absolutely crazy. I'm sure there's plenty of guided tours online that you can book, but we booked directly through the gallery's website. If you do find yourself in Florence and want to check the gallery out, I do think it's still worth the wait. I mean, look at this statue. It's carved out of one giant piece of marble. It's incredibly impressive. Later that night, we went to our first European football game. This was seriously one of the coolest and most surprising experiences of the trip. There's something really special about the atmosphere here. It's not a flashy overproduction of light shows and timeout performances, and that's what we loved about it. It's thousands of fans going crazy for the love of the game and their team. Listen to the sound of the stadium just rumbling from these chants. I think there's a nationwide law that says if you're walking home at night and you see a gelato shop, you have to stop. And we're in a foreign country, so of course we don't want any trouble.
She says, I don't know if I'm gonna stay.
It was so nice to ease into a morning for once. We found a little cafe right in the middle of Florence that had some veggie options. They also had extra large size coffees for us crazy Americans. Look at these 16-ounce beauties.
We're headed to the Duomo right now.
Our Airbnb was just a couple streets away from the Duomo, and most of the area here is pedestrian only. So pretty much anywhere we went, we would walk past this beautiful building. We booked our tickets to the last slots available to go to the top of the tower for the day to get as close to sunset as possible. But after about 10 minutes of being inside, we quickly realized that we had bought tickets at the same time the church does mass. So we stayed briefly for some photos of the building and then left to not interrupt the service. I just can't even imagine being 200 plus feet in the air trying to paint on this ceiling. What some of these artists did is absolutely mind-blowing.
Go on, get out, do what you need. Don't stick around this town because of me.
These little bell windows are called Buchetta del Vino. Initially in the 1500s, businesses made them to avoid taxes. In the 1600s, they were used to avoid the spread of the bubonic plague. And today, they're used as a fun way to order multiple rounds of booze to get drunk with your pals.
That was a good loud one.
It's kind of ironic these were used to socially distance because there's literally just groups of people hanging out around these things socializing. In an attempt to avoid local authorities throwing us in jail, we did stop for gelato on the way back to the Airbnb. One thing I loved about these gelato shops was almost every single one of them had a dark chocolate dairy-free option. These two tried their first crepes. And after 2 full days of walking past this thing, I finally did it, you guys. I finally rode this carousel. If there's one thing I love about traveling, it's stepping out of your comfort zone and doing things that you love just for the pure enjoyment of it. Thanks for watching our 2 days in Florence as we travel from Rome up to Lake Como. Tomorrow, we head to Cinque Terre.